friend, it's Suzy Lolley, and if you're new here, I'm so excited to have you. I'm really excited because I'm an escape room and Breakout Edu junkie. I can't wait to show you this tour of their digital game builder, which is, relatively new if you've been using the regular traditional box for a while. So watch the video, hope you pick up some good tips. And I almost knocked over the computer. As a 16-year public educator, I know what it's like to be in the trenches. I know the frustration, the overwhelm, the discouragement, and the hard work. I also know the successes. The mission of my blog is simple: to help you find your more. More time, more from technology, more student engagement, and more hope. In this particular video, we're going to continue diving into that second pillar of my blog, which is more from technology. You might have a breakout box, you might be familiar with classroom escape games, but have you explored the digital side? That's what this whole video is about. Hey friends, so today I want to talk to you about the Breakout Edu digital game builder, several components of that. And I'm very excited about it because it means that you have no locks to fool with. I love the locks, and actually the box makes me very happy. But since I changed school districts, I don't even have access to a box. But if you do, and you just maybe want to do a quick game and not have to fool with the locks, that's what the digital game builder is for. So I'm logged into platform.breakoutedu.com. It is free to get an account. However, there are certain games you cannot get without having an active subscription. So 2 ways to get that. Number one, when you buy a box and you have that shipped to you, it includes 1 year of platform access. Or I also have a discount code that I will share at the end of this video that will also help you to buy platform access. For example, if you just want to do the digital games or you've had a box for longer than a year. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to first of all search a game, and I want to search for something about the new year. We'll see if that pops up. Yes. And I want to come to the filter and say I just want to play digital games. I don't even know if that's a thing. We'll see. Nope. So instead I'm going to search winter because I know there are games for that. And you'll notice because I turned on the filter for digital that I can see just digital games. That means they can play on their phones or on a device of whatever kind. You also have other elements on the filter here: grade level, subject area, all that. I'm just keeping it general because I'm actually going to probably play with my friends who are adults. And I've found it's actually not too bad to play a game that seems younger for them. So I want to tell you, before you assign the game, you want to go into a new feature on platform and you want to create a class. So I'm going to go to my account and I'm going to go to create a class. It's in beta, so it's not perfect, but in general it works. And I'm going to call this Lolley Demo. I'm going to save. And now here I have instructions that will help the kids get signed up. It is several steps, so I'm hoping as Breakout Edu works through the beta phase of this that they'll kind of simplify the instructions. It's not that they're hard, it's just several steps. When I tried this, it was with first and second graders. They were able to do it, but one tip I would say is just keep everybody's password generic. The cool thing is, I don't want to log into this class that actually has students in it, and even though it doesn't list their last names, it does list their usernames, and I just don't want that out there for the whole internet. However, at any time, if I feel like any security's been compromised, I can shuffle the code. I also have the ability inside that to reset the kids' passwords, which again, if you teach kids of any kind, you know they cannot remember a password because they try to use some big fancy thing and it just doesn't work. So when you go into that class, right now you won't see any students, but this is how, again, you could get your roster or student sign-up instructions, etc., etc. So on the next little segment, I'm going to show you how to assign that game we talked about to this group of kids. So I'm back on my filtered list of winter games, and I want to just point out a couple things here. Number one, these are games that were pre-created for you, which is awesome. You don't have to invent anything, but you can. I'm going to show you how you can take a game and either build one from scratch or tweak what's already here. The second thing I want to point out is that some of these say subject pack and some of them say free. If they don't say free and you haven't bought platform access, you will not see them. So I'm just going to go into one that is free and is also digital. I've used, again, that filter to transform and just get results for digital games. So I have 2 options at the top of the page right here. I can copy this game, which means I might want to make some tweaks to it before my students do it. Maybe it's about fractions and my kids haven't quite learned how to do multiplying fractions. I could change just that one concept, or I can go ahead and assign it to my class. But I never like to do either of those choices first. I like to come down and see what the game's about. So you have a story, you have your list of combinations, and again, I'm just showing you the free one. You have your explanation of games, and then you can actually play the game. I highly recommend that. So let's just take a little mini tour. So the timer pops up here. This is a 30-minute game, and most of the digital ones are going to be a little bit shorter timer because they're not having to actually manipulate physical things. And the kids can go in any order. You will notice word locks, color locks, number, direction, and shape locks. I'm playing this totally live. So I have 2 gingerbread plus 12 equals a peppermint. Let's see. And then peppermint divided by 6 equals 4. We know that one has to be 24. I want to show you this as I'm working through. This is a really good tip for your kids. Always have them open in a new window because then they can click back and forth between the game and whatever this concept is. So I'm going to go back over and I can put in numbers but also see. So you would have them work out that lock and it'll turn green. Let me see how fast I can do this, y'all. I did not practice. Plus this plus 12 equals 24. So each of those gingerbread men has to be 6. Okay. The peppermint has to be 24. We already solved that. And then 6 times something equals 24 plus 6 equals 30. So 6 times 5. So the code should be, if I'm doing my math right, 6245. Let's try it, y'all. Doing it off the top of my head. So the kids will click the numbers, open the lock. They are filling in down here. If they get lost, they can clear them. When they submit, it should turn green and it's unlocked that lock. Yay, y'all. I picked a good one that was easy to demonstrate. So I always recommend, again, you try the game first. It does open in a new window, so you can go back here now, and if I like it just as it is, I would go through all the locks, of course. I can now assign it to my class. And now, any students that had registered under that account, it'll track how long it took them. Did they solve it all? It's really amazing. Now, with the first and second graders I played with right before Christmas, I did have them partner up. So just be aware if you have them do partners, they can either make a partner name and register, or you're probably going to want to change partners more often. So have them both answer on their own computers, but just work together to solve the puzzles. So that's a really easy way to just find a game, assign it to your class. It's all digital. We're going to now get into how you and your students can design games as well. I don't know about you, but my goal in teaching technology, and you may not be a technology teacher, you're probably not, but my goal in teaching technology is that kids would be creators, not just consumers. Anybody can put a screen in front of a kid. It's one of my pet peeves, but alas, we won't get off on that, on that soapbox. But if we want kids to really think deeply, it's important that they create, not just consume content, especially technology content. So I want to show you this My Account, and then under My Account, create new games. Okay, you and your students can build games in Breakout Edu, and it's really important that they, you know, maybe at the end of a project or at the end of a unit, they could use this as a project option. And I'm just going to let you see what happens here. So I'm going to call this one Not a Game. This is not a game. That's my description. Don't worry, I will delete this. No one will play this one, okay? And then you or your students would choose, do you want the locks to be dependent on each other, sequential, which is kind of fun, it is more challenging, or just individual locks they can solve in any order. So I'm just going to say individual for this particular time. What do you want to have happen when they complete the game? They could just get a generic message, they could get an image, a text, you know, maybe the image says, is your Bitmoji or something, and it says, I'm really proud of you. You know what, let's try that. I just had that thought. But, you know, let's go for it. Everybody loves Bitmoji. A good Bitmoji. Proud. Let's say you the real MVP. I like that one. We are going to save image as Breakout. Well. And I am going to drag that image right here. We'll see how it goes, y'all. I just love to do things live and in person. And then I also like to add a timer. So I'm going to make this a 15-minute quick game. It'd be great to use one of these as, you know, as an exit ticket or something like that as well. So I'm going to say next step. And then it just lets you build your locks. So text lock. The numbers that are going to open the lock are Suzy. I'm really creative today. Check that. Well, I didn't get the Y in there. There we go. And what is your teacher's name? That's a terrible question, guys, but I just want you to see the gist of it. Okay, and then select the content type to create a clue for this lock. It's really fun to save a GIF and make it a clue for this, and I'm going to give you a preview of just one that I've created before if I can grab it quickly. I've actually built games for Breakout Edu before, which is a lot of fun. And I have built a digital one. If you see it before I see it, shout it out. Short story digital. Okay, so this is just a preview of one. So let me find one that has, okay, so for example, this is a GIF or a GIF. And I've just taken an image, and that does hesitate for a minute. You can see here I made this one on makeagif.com. You can make them different places. But it's really cool to use a GIF, and you upload it just like an image. And it gives them what I showed you on the other screen, which is view it in a bigger, view it in its own window. I love that because it's nice and big for them to be able to see. But you could also just have a text clue, or you can have a video embedded there. So when you're done, you're going to say save, lock, and exit, except I guess I have to put something here. I'm going to be really lame and just put the exact same thing I already put. Desktop. There it is. Okay. Guys, this is not how you build a real game. I can do training on that. I'm actually an authorized trainer for Breakout Edu. And I'm happy to, teach you more about it. But anyway, when you come to the end of building your game, which you would build all your locks, you have several ways to share it. So you have a link here that you can just give to your students. You do have an embed code, so if you want to put this, I love my friends that use Canvas. I love putting this into a Canvas course. Or this breakout tag, y'all, is brand new. I have no idea what you do with it, so that'll be a cool thing that I'll have to tweet about later and share. But you're able to take your game, build it right here. It has all the tools you need to play it, and you are able to then share it in multiple ways. So even though I kind of previewed this in the previous segment, I wanted to show you some other ways that you can find your games again and assign them again. So when I go to my account, I go to My Digital Games. Now note here, only the games that I have made a copy of, for example, Deck the Halls I did not write, but I did grab a copy to edit, or games that I have written myself, like Not a Game, or these other ones that I've written for, written or saved or played, are available in my Digital Games. And here I can make a copy, assign it, see the results, share it, embed it, edit, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted you to be able to get back to, under my account, My Digital Games, so that you can find what you want to work on and assign for your students. I also want to show you, while we're in here, this amazing student design course. If you have students that you want to have design Breakout Edu games, it gives them a 6-part little course. And guys, this is so phenomenal. Not even if you're just going to have them design games, but for design thinking. I'm loving their student course. So have your students go through that if you think you might want them to design games, and you'll be amazed at the quality of games that they can come up for you. And then just one bonus tip. Whenever I'm having students design work, you are going to have some students who are not going to do a good job. So if you will assign the same topic to a group in each class, for example, I used to teach 5 times a day freshmen, but only 3 honors classes. Well, my 3 honors classes were creating grammar or vocabulary videos that I wanted to use again. So I had a group in each class creating an apostrophe video, a group in each class creating a run-on sentence video. Out of those 3 groups, one of them was going to have something that I would be happy to share again because it was complete and creative and correct. So as you have your students work through this and as they build games, it'll be good for them to practice, but also keep in mind, assign the same content to multiple groups, and you'll get a good one that you can reuse for the next year. Hope this helped. Hey guys, I put my heart into these videos, so I hope you loved it. I hope you've loved all of them, but if you haven't, then make sure you go back and watch the previous videos. I'm making playlists for you all the time. So if you're somebody who wants time savers, there's a playlist for that. If you want to gamify, playlist for that. And all of my themes of my blog. So did you like it? Go ahead and click the thumb below. If you really liked it, I'd love if you shared it on your favorite social media channel. I'm at Suzy Lolley on Twitter. And then finally, my very favorite is if you subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube and subscribe on the blog. Take care.